Hey there, Latin 1. Here we are on Chapter 4. There are going to be several lessons about this one because I break down a lot of verb forms and verb types in this particular chapter. But as always, we're going to start with the glossary on the bottom of 4. You will notice that it really steps up because the idea is that you've got enough under your belt that you can really start to kind of pick it up. So, also, we've started to notice that adjectives and nouns take masculines and feminines. So I'm going to read for you whatever form is there, but then also I'm going to point out that if it's an adjective, it's going to also have a feminine version. All right, so here we go. So the first word we see is molestus. Everybody say molestus. Molestus. Also, molesta. Molesta. That would be the feminine. Now, in English, we get the word molest, which has a lot of weight behind it now. But if you know your Spanish, you'll know el me molesta means he bothers me. And it really just means bothersome or pesky in Latin. In fact, you should probably write in pesky because that's probably the best way to go about it. If you do annoying, then it's going to confuse you with certain verbs. So molestus, molesta. That means pesky. The next word is semper. Semper. And semper, if you know the Marine slogan, it's semper fidelis, which means always faithful. So semper means always. Okay. Next word is wexat. Wexat. Now, wexat I'm using here, but honestly, the plural of wexat is wexant. And you need to start being able to do that because pretty soon we're going to show you how to conjugate verbs. This is where we get the word vex from. He vexes me. Okay. The next word we see is igitur. Igitur. Igitur just means therefore. Okay. It's one of those ones you should memorize. Although I'm partial to 1970s punk rock, so Iggy Pop and the Stooges, if you know who they are. Therefore, I followed him on his Iggy tour. Next one is Amat. Amat. The plural of that would be amant. And remember, adjectives don't take, verbs don't take genders, but they do take singulars or plurals, right? So amat turns to amant. And amat is where we get words like amorous. It's where you get amor in Spanish. And there's probably a lot of other words that have to do with love that have ama in them. But yes. And the next one is dormant. Dormant. The plural of this is dormiunt. It's similar to facet turning into faciunt. So dormit turns to dormiunt. Okay. The obvious English that you get from this is a dormitory, in Spanish, duermo, and words like that. The next one, conspicuous. Conspicuous. The plural of conspicuous is conspicuunt. Okay, so it's just going to be like facet. With conspicuous, we get conspicuous. Conspicuous means something you can't help but notice. Instead of catches sight of, though, I want you to cross that out and write in. I want you to write in spies. Okay, so I spy with my little eye. So he spies this. Next word we get is fortim. Fortim. And fortim means stealthily. Okay. We get the word furtive from this. If somebody is furtive, they're being sneaky. The next one is apropinquat. Apropinquat. The plural of that is apropinquant. We get the word approach from this. Okay. Normally you approach to something. So after apropinquat, you will see the word ad. So you approach to the tree. The next one we get is ascendit. Ascendit. And we get the plural of this, ascendunt. So it's going to be like curit, turned to curunt. Ascendit, you get the word ascend from this. It means to climb. I want you to write in up. He climbs up, because this is specifically climbing up. The next word is Magnus. The feminine of that is magna. Hopefully you filled in the blank there. Magnus, magna. And it's where we get magnify. There's actually a brand of televisions back in the 80s called Magnavox, which meant big voice. So yeah, a lot of words that deal with that. The next one that we see there is magna voce. I want to come back to that when we get to line 4, but magna voce. The next one is audit. Audit. The plural of that is audiunt. So it's going to be like facit, or it's going to be like conspicuous, or it's going to be like dormant. So audiunt. And this is where we get auditory, audition, auditorium, audio, words like that. Okay, it means to hear or to listen to something. I'm going to stop there because we've hit just past the 5-minute mark, and I will pick up the second column in the next video. That way you can just kind of go between. So this was everything on lines 1 through 3, and afterwards it'll be everything on lines 4 through 10. All right, I'm going to hit the button.